I'm excited for this one. I got a whole list of freshie bangers for you. Clones, designers, everything. I actually pulled out so many, we're gonna make 2 videos. And it's not necessarily part 1 or part 2, because they're both gonna have 10 fragrances in them. But enough yip yapping, let's jump into the video. If you guys can hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I see we're getting a ton of new people watching, I really appreciate you. But stop flirting with me, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 900 billion subscribers in the next 25 seconds, and I'd really appreciate your help. So if you're returning and you're enjoying the videos, hit all those buttons please, it really does mean a lot to me. Alright, first one up, we might as well start off a little classy before we get all trashy with like $10 clones. Even though this is actually cloning something, it's just in a designer bottle, so they charge a little bit more for it. But anyways, this is one right here. It could be your signature scent, it could be your only freshie for the summer, it could pretty much be your only fragrance. This scent profile is a lot of people's signature scent. And I love the origins of the scent profile, which I believe is Liz Claiborne Curve, morphed into the more popular version of the fragrance that most people refer to and most people think of when you smell a fragrance of the scent profile, and that's Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. But if you want to get all bougie with it, maybe you don't like that half-naked man bottle, I understand. Well then, Mont Blanc Legend EDP, it's here for you. And it's pretty wonderful. I love the way this bottle looks. It's nice and sleek. And more importantly, I love the way the fragrance smells. Smells like flippin' Fierce. If you don't know what Fierce smells like, either go to an Abercrombie and smell Fierce, or go to a department store and smell Mont Blanc Legend, and you'll start to get a good idea of what it smells like. To me, it's very scent memory specific. I'm immediately in the mall in the early 2000s, walking around looking to buy something dumb, which I probably shouldn't have. But it's okay. It was the early 2000s. There was a lot of dumb stuff going on around then. But times were good. It seemed like more people had a smile on their face. T-Pain on the radio, about to go have a fun night out. And this scent profile immediately brings me back to that time. That's the vibe I get. I love this one. All around freshie banger. Super versatile. Any season, any situation. The Fierce DNA could definitely be your scent profile. And this is a nice designer cheapy option. You could usually find this in that low $30 range. Pretty big win in my book. Alright, next 2 up. I just made a short about this, but who knows, you might be seeing this video a week after I filmed it, and we're talking about both the Amir Al Arabs Asdaf, which I believe is a Lattafa sub-brand. This one's called Imperium, but both of these are YSL inspos. This is YEDT. This is La Nuit Alum. Both of them super versatile, freshy bangers. Any season, any situation, both of them signature scent worthy. Both of them are very mass appealing. If you have either of these on and you walk by someone, no one's going to think you smell bad. They're going to think you smell delicious. Unless, like I always say, you initially smelled bad. You have BO and you're just using a fragrance to cover it up, then no, you need to take a shower, my friend. But barring that specific situation, if you're already showered and you spray this on, you're going to be smelling flipping good. Both of these get pretty close to the original fragrance. Both of these do not get as close in performance or longevity, but for being freshies that are so cheap, you can't nitpick everything. You just got to spray again. You got to keep the bottle in your bag and you spray again. But I will say on my hair, both of these, I get pretty decent performance. My cactus skin soaks them up, but that's like 99% of all fragrances. They just get soaked up right into these veins and it goes right into my flipping bloodstream. But both of these, under $15 bangers, and I think both of these are worth every single penny. Definitely in the summer, definitely in the springtime, in the fall. Anytime you need a freshie, going to the gym, going on a hot date, don't matter. You're going to be smelling good if you're wearing either of these. Alright, next one up, one of my favorite scent profiles. Super classic. It recently got reformulated. So I went out and I got like 50 of these little samples right here. It was like a slamming good deal. I also really like the EDP. Acqua di Gio. I mean, you really still cannot go wrong with the Acqua di Gio scent profile. Hold on. You know what? I'm going to spray this little juice on right now. Why not? Oh, yeah. Oh, I already feel it. I smell like a flippin' man. But yeah, this one to me is so funny. When I think about it, I'm like, oh, yeah, 90s fragrance. And then I spray it on and I'm like, oh, I forget how much I love this every single time. Absolutely love the EDT. Now, I also really like the EDP. I blew through this sample in like 12 seconds. Is there any spray left? One little crack or something? Let me get it on me right now. Why not? Yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, I'm smelling like a real man. Maybe people will just give me $100 bills because I smell so good. But I really like this new EDP too. I think this might be full bottle worthy. I'm gonna have to get a full bottle of this. But either way, Acqua di Gio or any of the Acqua di Gio clones out there, Gio by Belcam is one of them. Super cheap, but I already packed it up. I'm packing up all my fragrances. I'm about to move, and we might even have a new set. I'm getting new shelves. I'm setting all my fragrances up in a slightly different way, so we might have a new set. We might not, but anyways, Gio, Belcam, that gets very close to the scent profile. It just fades very quickly. Another one that's really good, Blue Touch. Frank spelled the fancy way, Olivier. I mean, this one too, spot on Acqua di Gio. Yeah, I mean, it's the same flippin' fragrance. It's the same flippin' fragrance. Unreal. And then to me, Beast Acqua di Gio with a slightly more masculine twist on it. is classic chromite. It's not exactly a one-to-one to the EDT scent profile, but it's in a similar family, and to me this one's pretty flippin' beast. So that's there too. And if you want a Profumo clone, well, no problem. Then Latafa Sucrats also got you. Super banger. I love the way this smells. But every now and again when I talk about this fragrance, I get a younger buck that says, oh, I don't like the way it dries down like a little bit of an older guy. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I am a little bit of an older guy, and I love the way this smells. Even though this is something like my dad would have been rocking. Well, I guess I'm the age he was then now or something like that. So I guess it's all cyclical. Because now when I smell this, I'm like, oh yeah, classic. I flippin' love it. But this one's Acqua di Gio Profumo. But the whole Acqua di Gio scent profile, I still think is relevant. I think the EDT can come out today. Well, they just reformulated it. I have to get my nose on the newest one. Apparently, it's slightly updated for today's modern taste. But either way, I flippin' love the whole scent profile. I still think it's wearable. I still think even classic EDT could have came out today and people would be like, oh yeah, very nice designer freshie. So I still love them. I could see some people thinking that maybe it's a little dated, but if you didn't know and you just smelled it, you would just think it's a freshie, I think. But on to the next. Alright, next one up. Let's keep it a little classic for a bit. Some people think this smells synthetic, and yeah, I guess it smells a little synthetic, but it also smells really flippin' good. And there's another one for how old it is. I believe this came out in 96. I could be wrong, but I think it is 96. And for it being that old, it's still pretty wonderful, and I think it could come out today. Chrome? I mean, I got all this writing on the back because I got a tester. If you don't get a tester, you won't get that writing. And that's not the cap that comes with it either. I got a little tester with no cap, so I had to put a makeshift cap on. But anyways, either way, Chrome Azzaro. I know a couple of you guys watching this right now, this is probably your signature scent back in the day. And I still think this could come out today and it would smell good. I still think for this summer, it smells great. And this is actually one of the few fragrances that I've gotten a compliment on. My wife likes this one too. But again, I know not everyone likes it. I know if your tastes are super sophisticated, you might smell this and go, oh, it's too synthetic. Well, I don't know. To me, a lot of fragrances smell pretty synthetic. So I tend to not go down that road unless it's like screechy synthetic for some ridiculous reason. Which happens, I guess. But this one, another one. For how old it is, I still think it can come out today and people will think it smells good because it does still smell good. It's wonderful. I love it. I think it's still a super versatile banger. Any season, any situation, office date, the gym, you'll be smelling flipping good. Chrome Azzaro, you could usually find a sample in that $30 range. I think it's still a slamming option. Alright, another one up. This one's slightly manlier, but still done in a really nice way. I think anyone over 25 could pull this off. I think if you're under 25, it might come off a little too mature for you. But if you're holding your head up high and you got some confidence, it doesn't matter. You can wear it at any age. To me, this smells wonderful. Almost in like the traditional sense of when you hear the word cologne, kind of the vibe you would get. I mean, when I hear the word cologne, I think of Acqua di Gio, but this is not too far behind. And we're talking about Salvo, not the Intense, just a regular Salvo. Magnetic cap, EDP, nice gradient bottle here, nice heavy glass, and it smells wonderful. I love the way this smells. There's some days when I'm feeling pretty manly, and this is the one I grabbed for. I actually really like it. There's another one. I just realized the stem's clipped a little short. What the flip? Look at that. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom. Oh, come on, Salvo. I just realized that. I'm gonna have to decant it when I get to the bottom. My Immortelle is like that too. What's going on, Mason flipping Alhambra? Your clipper's not calibrated right. That's too funny. Well, if I ever get to the end, I'll have to decant it. But anyways, inspired by Savage, spelled with a U, said all fancy. Yeah, this one gets pretty flipping close. Not all the way there, but man, is it nice. To me, I get like manly clean laundry. I still get a little bit of a clean laundry kind of soapy vibe, but in a really manly, almost like cologne kind of way, like I'm saying. Barbershop type vibe, throwback type vibe, but modernized, brought and up to date. Not totally barbershop like Jacquard Noir, but barbershop like 2010's barbershop. Really nice. Yeah, I love it. If I didn't start cutting my own hair in 2020 and I went to a barbershop, this is probably what they'd splash on after. Or some version of it. Or something that smells like this. But you understand what I'm flippin' saying over here. It smells like a flippin', modern, updated barbershop. And I love it. Another one, signature scent worthy. Any season, any situation. Maybe the super high heat, you'd pick something a little fresher. But even if you wore this in the high heat, you would just smell like a flippin' man that just came from the barbershop. But I'd probably pick something a little lighter, a little citrusier in the high heat. But on a cool summer night, little hot date on the Ferris wheel, sharing a little cotton candy, you'll be smelling pretty good. If you're over 25. If you're under 25, the girl might think you smell like her dad. But you run that risk sometimes when you play this fragrance game. Alright, next one up. It's supposed to be inspired by a Green Irish Tweed. I went and I smelled most of the Creeds all in one shot. None of them made me really do backflips, but I did like a bunch of them. And this is one of the scent profiles that I did really like. And of course we're talking about Très Nuit. I guess we could also bring Cool Water in the mix. Why not? They're very similar. But Very Night for guys, because Très Nuit means very night, and very night don't mean nothing. What does very night mean? You mean very dark? It's very dark outside? Well, Nuit doesn't mean dark, it means night. So Very Night for guys smells really nice. I like it. I just don't like this funny bottle right here. You gotta hold it in a weird way when you spray it, and it takes up a lot of real estate on the shelf. It's got a big bum, which is fine in most situations, but for shelf space reasons, you want a little bum. It takes up less space. It's better. But either way, both of these smell flippin' wonderful. I think if you have more modern taste, you're gonna like the Very Night way more. The Cool Water still comes off like a tiny bit old school to me. They're similar, but not all the way there. I think the Cool Water has still its own little vibe, and that own little vibe is like early 90s kind of vibe. I forget exactly what year this came out, but it might have been 80s too. But this one smells like a tiny bit more piney. It feels like I'm wearing this in the woods. That's what this smells like. I'm wearing Train Nui in the woods is what it smells like. And I like it. I like both of them. But I think if you're a younger guy, you'll like the Train Nui more. If you're an older gentleman, you've already tried Cool Water, well, Cool Water's still here. It still smells wonderful. I heard it's been reformulated a bunch of times, but it smells really nice. And it's 125 ml, so you get some free juice in there, which I always appreciate. But yeah, Green Hours Tweed, I really like that scent profile. Fresh, wonderful. It feels like I'm walking through the forest and there's like a stream right next to me. And in that stream, there's like some lilies floating around or something. Not that this comes off like florally, but there is something in there kind of brightening it up. Maybe it's some florals. I don't remember at this exact moment. I'm not looking at the notes like you guys are. But I feel like I'm walking on a nice crisp spring day by a stream. And everything smells wonderful. That's the vibe I get. And I love it. I really like both of these. But I think this one's definitely more modern, more up to date. But the Cool Water still holds up. It still smells really nice. Alright, next one up. This one's a little bit divisive because some people say it gets a little bit powdery on the dry down. And it does get a little bit powdery. A little diapery. Has like a slight little tinge to it. But I still really like it. This is one of those ones that's super hyped up, and when I smelled it, I was like, okay, yeah, I see what's going on here. A little Bleu de Chanel type vibe, but with its own little twist on it. And we're talking about Aqua Senziale Blue, and I had to put a makeshift cap on it, because I got a tester with no cap, and now I look at it, and I'm like, why? Why did I get a tester with no cap? I should have got the flipping cap. I got a fake Hawas cap on there, because I got a fake Hawas, too, by accident. I didn't mean to get it, but this cap fit on there nicely. So, fake Hawas cap on the Aqua Senziale Blue. But anyways, forget all that. Ferragamo, you can usually find this in the $30 range. Another one that could be your signature scent, especially if you go to an office or something. This could be a nice, inoffensive one that you wear every single day. Definitely gives me Bleu de Chanel vibes, but with its own slight little twist on it, but very similar families. I mean, they're walking the same line, they're at the same dance, they're flirting. But I do like this one. But like I said, I know some people think on the dry down it gets a little powdery, and yeah, it does. It has a little body on it. It definitely has something in there richening it up, which I could see not everyone liking. But personally, I do like it. I don't grab for this in the high heat, but this is more of a spring list. So in the springtime, fall time, I think this could definitely work. But in the high heat, no, I'm going with something a little fresher, a little bit more citrusy. But overall, a nice blue designer fragrance in that $30 range. Definitely great value in my book. How many's that been? I don't know. Let's just do, we'll do 2 more right here, because I don't remember how many I've done already. You guys know I love that Le Male scent profile. I've been hanging on to these last 2 little sprays for dear life here. I need to get a full bottle. But original Le Male also came out almost, 30 years ago? Could have came out 12 seconds ago. Still smells flippin' amazing in my book. With some clone alternatives, I showed you this recently. CR7, definitely Le Male brought up to date. I really like it. Doesn't get full 1-to-1 all the way there, but it's about 80% with a slight little modernization to it. I really like the CR7. Another one, Glacier Mason flipping Alhambra. This one has like a note of something that jumps out. It's like the caraway seeds or something. To me, in this fragrance, it just jumps out a little bit extra than what the Le Male does. So personally, I prefer the original Le Male over this one, but this is definitely a nice alternative. Gets you most of the way to the scent profile. Again, I think slightly modernized like the CR7, but I still think this is actually pretty modern. I think old school Le Male could have came out today, and it'd be a hit. And if you didn't know, Francis Kirkjohn was the perfumer behind this. This was his first big hit, if I'm not mistaken. Put him on the map. So that's a pretty nice accolade right there. And another option for you, because if I don't say it, someone's going to say it for me. It's flippin' Cuba Gold. It's also Le Male, and it's pretty flippin' wonderful. For the $8, you could usually find the skinnier one. This is usually around $10, $11, $12. I mean, again, it's Le Male. These two are almost the same fragrance. Now, people every now and again like to say that this came out first. I think Perfumes de Champs, Cuba as a company, came out first. Like that started, I believe, in 1977. Don't quote me here. But when we tried to look up which fragrance that came out first, we were not getting a definitive date. Some people were saying it was closer to like 2000. And this, I believe, is 1996, but I could be a year or two off on that one. So anyway, some people like to say this came out first. I don't think it did. I'm pretty sure Lamal's first. Unless this did come out first and Francis Kirkjohn was wearing Cuba Gold. It's possible. And he's just like, hey, I got a great idea. Imagine we find that out. That'd be too funny. One of the most famous perfumers ever lifted his most famous scent profile off an $8 Cuba Gold. But I don't think that's the situation. Even though his most famous scent profile is probably Baccarat Rouge at this point. But either way, forget all that. This scent profile, absolutely love it. Still amazing. Still super versatile. Still great for the spring. Can creep into the summer too. I love them all. I love all the clones. I love everything about it. Alright, last one up. I know there's a new version of this. I have not gotten it yet. It's called Blue, but I got Essence. Yeah, it's a little bottle. I made a mistake. I thought it was a 50 ml, but it wasn't. It was a splash. Because regular Jacquard Noir discounters is like $15, and this is $12. So I'm like, oh, it's a half bottle or something. And then I get it, and it's this little baby. But it's okay, because I'm pretty sure this is discontinued. And this might be the only juice I have for a discontinued fragrance. So I'm proud of that. But this is another one. I really like it. It has an old school kind of vibe to it. I think anything Jacquard kind of probably has an old school type of vibe. I gotta smell the blue one. I'm sure it's a little bit more modernized. But I mean, to me, this smells like a blue, fresh Jacquard Noir. Even though Jacquard Noir is kind of fresh in a barbershop way, this is more fresh in like a blue way. And it's pretty nice. I like it. To me, again, this is another one that kind of comes off like cologne. When you hear the word cologne, it's kind of the vibe I get. This is another one too where I think under 25 it might be a little bit too much for you. But if you could find it somewhere, or possibly like a rack store, they have some stock hanging out or something, you happen to see it, and it's a good price, well, you could scoop it up, because it's pretty good. And I like it. I've been babying this little 5 ml. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, man, I don't want to go through this discontinued juice. But I wish it wasn't discontinued, because then I'd wear it more. No, I love it. I love it. Every time I smell it. Now I just opened it 5 times. Oxygen just got in. I probably just lost 5% more of it to evaporation. But whatever. It is what it is in this game. But Jacquard Essence, I know everyone's hyping up the Jacquard Blue, but this is Jacquard Blue before flipping Jacquard Blue came out. So we got to pay our respects over here. But let me know some of your freshies down below. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Hit all those buttons. I hope you're having a blessed day. If this video made you smile, hit that like button. That would make me smile. I love you. And bye for now, baby.